Welcome back. All right, so one game is done. We've got 4 games left to go today. This was Chicago and Florida. Pretty entertaining game. All right, so it's Soderblom playing for the first time against Florida, up against Bobrovsky. Bennett returns to the lineup, and early on, it looked like this one might be very lopsided in favor of the Panthers. Ekman Larson scores from Reinhart and Rodriguez at 39 seconds. It was ridiculous passes back and forth. Soderblom trying to follow the puck, and in the end, he's kind of drawn out of position, and so Ekman Larson could just tap it in. Panthers then looked for another. They had both shots 2.5 minutes in. Chicago having a hard time getting things going. They get a power play, the Chicago Blackhawks do. There's an early clear by the Panthers. They clear it again. They killed it off. I didn't even see a shot attempt for Chicago on that first power play. Radish is then denied in close. We get some pushing after that, and then at 7:04, Chicago ties it. It is Dickinson from Murphy and Reichel. It's a chance in close, goes through Bobrovsky. It was only the second shot for Chicago, so, it's a tie game all of a sudden. Lundell's then denied on a rush. Radish has a chance kicked aside. Momentum, it felt like it shifted to Chicago. Kulikov fires one wide as the Panthers press. We then get a power play for Florida, and it takes 17 seconds for that power play to cash in. It was Reinhart from Tkachuk and Ekman Larson at 11:54. So OEL with a goal and an assist today. He's had a decent start to the season. So that one was buried through a screen. Reinhart's up to 10 goals. Fastest Florida Panther to 10 goals since somebody named Bure played for them. With the momentum back, and that's Pavel, not Valari. With the momentum back, the Panthers press for another. Verhaeghe has a shot that saved. Tkachuk's chance deflects out. The Hawks press with 5.5 minutes left, but they're kept to the outside. Luostarinen has a shot, that's held. Mahura then has a slot shot, that's held as well, as now Soderblom's trying to prevent rebounds. All Panthers late. The Panthers score, but the goalie interference call is made by the referee. So immediately he says nope, and the replay showed, yep, it's the right call. It's not a penalty, but it's also not a goal. And then at 19:04, Bedard does Bedard things. What's remarkable with Bedard is he steals the puck, and within a second, he's wired it top shelf. And I don't know that there's a goalie in the league that can be ready for that, because your defenseman has it, he doesn't, it's in the net, like that quickly. I don't know that I could physically do that. Just, it is crazy, his hands. And they've said this since, for the last 2-3 years, we've heard a lot about his release. His release is insane, and this, again, proves that to be the point. Bedard's going to give goalies headaches for many years to come. Panthers press for response, but after the first period, it's 2-2. And the remarkable thing is that Florida felt like controlled a lot of that period, but Chicago, Bedard, makes a difference. So second period, early press by the Panthers. The fans call one, the referee doesn't. Tkachuk has a shot that's blocked. The Panthers clear. Donato with a net drive. That's defended. Verhaeghe can't bury one in close. That one was held. There's a near miss for Kulikov from the slot. Strong forechecking by Florida. Eventually they set up a press, and they score. At 7 minutes, it's Reinhart from Forsling and Rodriguez. So it's 3-2. And again, you feel like, okay, Florida, one of the better teams in the league. They're just going to keep rolling. But it's a net drive. It's Bedard. At 8:18, he scores from Jones. And it's a release. It's the deceptive release. There's no wind up. You don't know if he's going to pass it or shoot it. And when you figure out, he's going to shoot the puck, it's already in your net. So the shots are 6-3 at the half in favor of Florida. But we have a 3-3 tie. So power play for Chicago, early clear by the Panthers. Reichel to Radish gets picked off, cleared out again. Power play's killed off. A hit on Bedard draws a crowd. It was a pretty heavy hit. Bedard did jump right back up though. But that sends the Panthers to the power play. Foligno comes over and defends Bedard after he gets knocked down. And it ends up being 4 minutes because first he hooks the player and then he's guilty of a rough. So it's a 4-minute power play with 5:15 left for the Florida Panthers. They cycle. Lundell has a shot that's saved. There's more cycling. Radish then clears it. Vlasic would clear it with less than a minute left in the power play. And then we have 11 seconds of 4-on-4 with a minute and 26 seconds left as Florida takes a penalty, pulling themselves off the power play. So the Hawks struggle to set up before the period's out. That rolls over into the third period where Florida finishes the kill. We then get a power play for Florida. The Panthers cycle. Tkachuk clears. Kaiser clears next. But late in the power play, Verhaeghe buries a rebound. Reinhart and Tkachuk with the assists at 2:43. So that's 2 power play goals for Florida. It's really the difference today. One team had a power play and the other one, their power play just couldn't get things going. So Foligno then has a rush chance at save. Barkov misses one high after Rodriguez fails to bury one in close. Panthers press at 6.5 minutes. Stenlund has a shot that's caught and held. Lomberg to Lawrence. There's a near miss towards the net there. Shots are 3 apiece at the half. And then the Hawks kind of take over. So Bennett has a rush chance to deflect out. There was a post for Seth Jones. And then Foligno has a shot that's held after that. Kurashev couldn't bury one as the Hawks get some pressure. The Hawks at this point are faster to pucks. And I thought that was noteworthy because Florida's a very fast team. But Chicago was beating them to those pucks in the second half of that third period. They wanted at least a point out of this game. Panthers get hemmed in with 5 minutes left, which is unusual. Usually it's the third period in Florida. Florida's traditionally, and I mean over the last 4 years, quite good in third periods, especially at home. Chicago did their best here. Vlasic has a shot that's held. Kachuk causes a turnover. Really strong forechecking by Chicago, too, at this point. Goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left. The Panthers ice it with 1:53 left. Seth Jones has a blast that's held. There's some pushing. Heavy press by the Hawks in the final minute. Bennett finally clears it with about 20 seconds left. The Hawks come back in and set up, but Florida holds on. They win this one 4-3. They go to 9-4-1 with the victory. Chicago drops to 5-8-0 with the loss. But again, what Chicago shows today is you have to bring your A game. You have to play a full 60 minutes. And if Chicago gets some, if you have that composure and that confidence in yourself combined with that explosive ability of Bedard, honestly, when this was tied after 2, I thought Chicago was going to win it. I really did. I was waiting for a Bedard hat trick goal in the third period. So the shots on net in this one, 14-8 Florida in the first, 11-5 Florida in the second, 14-6 Chicago in the third. Final shots, 31-27 Florida. Power plays, Chicago 0 for 3, Florida 2 for 4. The hits, 21-15 for Florida. Soderblom saves 27 out of 31, and Bobrovsky saves 24 out of 27. Highly entertaining game, and again, if Chicago can keep up this work ethic, good on Luke Richardson. Very good coach. Happy to see that the Chicago Blackhawks are at least, putting up that effort. And if you're Kyle Davidson, you're happy. You got a really good effort. You got a strong game from Bedard. Foligno showed some leadership out there and being willing to rough somebody up. Yeah, he goes to the penalty box for 4 minutes, but that's the fight back they want to see. And so you're not getting the wins. You're still probably going to get a really high draft pick this coming spring, but you're showing fans a sign that this team is going to turn things around, maybe sooner than expected. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Maybe it's a matter of the Florida Panthers just having a hard time with Chicago. Remember, Chicago did beat them 5-2 a week ago. This was almost revenge for that. Does it count as revenge, though, when they took over in the third period and outshot them that badly? But hey, they won the game. That's what's important. So let me know your thoughts. If you haven't already hit like and subscribe, the buttons are right around here somewhere. Thank you guys again for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.